you could say that I've had a stream of bad luck or that I had a decade of bad luck, and lucky you, I'm going to share all of the experiences that somehow I survived and all of the things, all of the lessons and all of the golden nuggets that I pulled out of these crazy, crazy life circumstances. So about 7 years ago, I was driving through downtown Salt Lake City, Utah, coming home. And I decided that I was gonna stop in at my favorite dance studio, grab a couple dances, and head out and go home. It was midnight, and I threw my coat in a community pile of coats. And I literally took my 2 dances and went to go grab my coat. My coat was gone. My coat was a very traditional gray jacket, very easily mistaken as maybe your own. So when I went to go find my jacket was gone, and I thought, oh my gosh, somebody accidentally grabbed the wrong jacket. And then I realized, oh, my phone is in my jacket. Somebody's got my phone. So I went and I did track my iPhone, and I saw my iPhone and it was beeping, and it was just a couple of blocks away, and I just thought, oh, I'll just have somebody go take me and I'll go get my jacket and my phone back. So I asked a friend if they would go and take me to get my jacket back. And when we walked out of the door, I realized, I pointed and I said, that's where I parked my car. They didn't just take my jacket and my phone, they took my car. They stole my car because my keys were in my jacket. And so off we went to locate now, not just my phone and not just my coat, but also my car. So we drove to where my phone had been last seen, and in the ditch were my license plates ripped off and checked. And we called the cops, and the cops came and they took my story, and the cop said, now I need a detailed description of what happened. And I told them, I said, you know, I came down and I was doing a dance, and I came out to my car and my car was gone, and then I come up here and my car is just gone, and somebody stole it. They had my keys in my coat, and I started speaking in this super random accent. Don't even ask me what it is. I don't even know. I am really not an accent person. However, sometimes things start flowing out of my mouth that I don't know where they come from, and sometimes I cross my accent, so don't judge me, but I always tell my husband that when I die and at my funeral, people are gonna miss that about me. So I start talking to the cop, and I'm like, and then they took my coat, and my coat is now gone, and my car is gone with it. And he said, wow, you're really in high hopes, or you're in really high spirits for having your car just being stolen. And I said, I know, it is just a $13,000 piece of metal. Metal can be replaced. And he said, why are you so happy at 2 o'clock in the morning when your car, your wallet, and your phone have all been stolen? And I don't know why I shared this with him, but I did. And I said, because $13,000 piece of metal can be replaced, people cannot. And it's because I had a perspective that you don't sweat the small stuff, and everything, just about everything, is small stuff that we go through. I had lost my oldest son in a tragic accident just a few years before, and that experience gave me perspective on all of the other experiences. When I lost my son, I remember going to the store and seeing these moms of 2-year-olds, and their 2-year-old was throwing a temper tantrum, and the mom would be upset or frazzled or mad or short-tempered, and she would swat their kid on the bum. And I just wanted to go up to her and just shake her by the arms and just look into her eyes and just say, do you know how lucky you are that your child is here to throw a temper tantrum? Do you know how lucky you are? Because that means that your child has a heartbeat. That means your child is alive. And so I want to just talk to you today about the power of perspective. That, you know, a lot of people say hindsight's 20/20. Well, what does that mean? That means that down the road, when you look back at what you're going through right now, you're going to be able to discover how it was a blessing or how you learned from it or what stepping stone it was to get you to somewhere down the road. And I discovered that the key to my freedom and perspective is to live in hindsight, to not wait for the future, to look back at now, to decide and to discover how it benefited me, but that whatever I am going through in the current moment, I ask myself these questions. What is this teaching me? Where is it going to take me? And how is it going to benefit me? Because no matter how hard the experience is, no matter the circumstances that you're faced with, I promise you that down the road, you're going to look back and you are going to be able to find the answer to those 3 questions. So that is the power of perspective, is not to sweat the small stuff and to look at your life and the current things that you're going through as an opportunity to learn from them. The other thing about the power of perspective is a few years ago, my husband and I went to Greece and we served some families that were refugees. They were fleeing from Turkey and they were fleeing into Greece to escape the violence that was going on and the wars and the contention. And as we served them, they shared with us stories, some of the most horrific stories you could ever imagine. Things like being smuggled into another country by riding underneath a truck for 13 hours, just holding on to bars for 13 hours. Things like fleeing the country because their children were kidnapped and murdered. And when we hear about the experiences of other people, it very quickly turns our perspective of our current situation into something that is not nearly as severe as we have made it up in our mind. Even listening to these refugees' stories made me come home and be ultra grateful for the life that I've been given and ultra grateful for the trials and the adversity that I've faced. And mind you, my son died in a very tragic way, and it was heart-wrenching and difficult and hard and ugly and painful, and it has left wounds to this day. But when we have perspective, that is when we can truly unlock gratitude for the life that we live. Because I promise that there's somebody out there who's struggling a little bit harder. And when we can get outside of our own struggle, our own stories, and we can dive into helping other people, that is where the joy lies in our life. That is where the freedom is found, is when we decide to focus on people outside of ourselves. That is the freedom. All right, you guys, I wanted to leave this with you. Hope you have a great day. Find somebody that you can go out to serve and put life into perspective. All you need is to find somebody that might be struggling a little bit more than you are. All right, have a great day. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the notification button. We'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.